Hi, my name is CK. I want to share some practical advice and wisdom that I've gathered over the years as a way to empower you to tap into deeper success and fulfillment. So, a lot of entrepreneurs, when they're on their journey, part of the process is to step into prominence, step into public, be more and more public about what they're up to. And there's the external component of it, and then there's the internal component of it. The external component would be, what is my message? What is my story? And what's my mission? What's my hook? All of these things that most people talk about when they talk about getting on YouTube or Facebook Live or social media or whatever means possible to be more and more public, to have more and more followers. And that's what the egoic mind obsess about. And there's an internal journey, there's an internal component that every single person goes through when they are actually on that journey into prominence. So these are questions about, why do I want to do this? Am I worthy enough to share my message? Am I expert enough to actually teach others about whatever it is? And I have personally have gone through it. So I want to share some tactical advice as a way to empower you to actually hone in on what that intrinsic motivation, what that internal drive, what that internal desire is. Because when you find that internal desire, it actually becomes much easier because you are doing it as a way to share more versus trying to be strategic and optimizing the outcome that you want. My philosophy is, when you find that intrinsic motivator, it's much easier. If you think about it, the desire of, or actually the resistance of, oh, I don't want to be on camera because my camera doesn't look good, I don't look good, my gear doesn't look good, my lighting doesn't look good. If you really get into the source of that line of questions, the center of the attention is focusing on you. Versus if you're actually pouring outwards, how do I share this more and make the kind of impact I want to make, right? So one is more self-serving. Well, how would this video make me look versus how would this video or piece of content make the kind of impact that you want to make to another, right? So it's a very different come from place. You got to be cognizant about that. I remember when I was thinking about becoming more public, and that's the journey that I had to go through myself. And there's this internal judgment and criticism of how CK, the character on video, isn't performing up to par of what I would like to be perceived in. Versus, how could this video be more of service and make more impact to others? Just as an agent of the divine, an agent of the universe, whatever you call it, to make the kind of difference that I want to make. So let me actually bring it even more concrete. The shift that actually happened for me is when it clicked for me, hey, the younger version of me is watching this. And these are the things I wish I have known when I was facing my challenges, when I was facing my self-doubt about being more prominent. And I couldn't find anything that actually focused on the internal component. If I have someone that looked at me, talk like me, think like me, share something, that I would have gravitated towards that. So now the come from place, even though I still feel this internal resistance of not wanting to seek attention, because in my seeking attention is distasteful. Seeking attention for my sake is distasteful. But seeking attention in service of the younger CK, then I will do it in spite of my initial resistance that's on the inside. I would invite you to think about is, I know you want to step into prominence to promote your movement, your idea, your business, right? Now, if you go a layer deeper, think about why your business idea, movement would help others solve their problem, especially the younger version of you, especially the younger version of you. So that way, that would give you a higher context why you want to get into prominence, because it's no longer about you. It's actually about serving your specific client, your specific customer, your specific follower that actually needs what you have to share. Now, this is on the direct one-to-one basis. If you look even further than that, there are others that may be not necessarily your prospective client yet, but they're on their journey to be that. And they could find the story, the idea, the tactic, the strategy, and then more specifically, who you are inspiring. Like I was saying earlier, I was seeking someone that looked like me, talk like me, think like me, but I couldn't find any. So the story that I share could actually inspire the younger version of CK maybe 5 years from now. I think, and also in perpetuity as well. This video that I'm uploading now may not have the instantaneous impact that I wanted to make, but 5 years from now, right? The CK that was just born and now is a teenager in his 20s or 30s, or someone who just started a business and who is grappling with similar ideas that I grappled with about 10 years ago, can say, oh my God, this is something that I've been looking for. So if you think from even that broader perspective, what inspirational stories, tidbits, mistakes that you had made and that you are sharing could make that difference for that person. That makes so much of a difference. And I'll share this with you. Like I said, when I started, I was so obsessed about looking awesome and looking great and talking great. I literally would script every single word on my note card, and I would just trying to get everything perfect because my obsession was me. Now, as I'm speaking now, as you can hear, I'm not necessarily speaking perfect, and this is stream of consciousness. I just have a little note card in front of me as a way to remind myself some of the talking points. That it actually empowers me to bring more of me, step into flow, and just to share whatever that's on my mind, stream of consciousness. So, recap. As you're stepping into your as you're stepping into prominence, from nobody to public to prominence to number one thought leader in the world, and there's a journey that you take on, and it's a worthy journey to take on. Now, most people would tell you to focus on the external, the tactics, the strategy, the messaging, the branding, the colors, the lights, and all these things. Those things are important, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, even more worthy of a journey to take on is that internal journey of grappling with your own self-judgment, own self-love, self-criticisms, and your own self-worth to actually carry this idea, to carry the service, to carry this contribution. Because when I tell you this, when you grasp that, when you grasp that intrinsic, the atomic unit of this intrinsic motivation, when you find it, and then you can find a higher purpose, a higher context for you to step in front of camera, that'll actually allow you to overcome any kind of internal resistance that you may experience. Because no longer it's about you, but actually this idea, this higher context, this higher purpose that you have. Have a good one. Talk to you.